Hey there, Mark here again with another micro learning session within MyGeotab. So today is going to be about one of the more complex tools within the system that is actually very, very simple to use. And that's referred to as a trips history. So what this is the breadcrumb trail that every asset leaves based on that Geotab device, right? It's pulling GPS information in real time along with diagnostic information, and the trip's history gives you a very, very easy way to view certain things. Let's say that you're trying to investigate somebody that is speeding, or maybe somebody called in and said one of your drivers was driving erratically, right? Being able to go in and follow that breadcrumb is going to be a huge benefit, and it makes it very, very nice to have that information on hand. Now there are a few different ways to access that. Now you'll notice here that we're picking up right where we left off on the previous one. I'm on my customized map. I've got my two vehicles in view. But let's say that I got a phone call that Mason was driving erratically and I want to jump into it. Now there is the ability to go to trips history here, but what that does is it's going to pull in trips for anybody that's showing in this panel. So if you've got a lot of vehicles there, it makes it so that you're going to have to filter pretty quickly. Now, if I only want to see a specific driver, I can click on that vehicle or that driver's name and access this trip button here. Now, what this is going to default to is the most recent trip. So, for in this instance, if I scroll up, we've got some from February 24th, but we've also got the most recent one from February 25th, which was this morning. Now, in here, you're going to notice that it is going to give me some different information. I've got the location from the start to the stop. Once they pick back up, if there were any stops along the way, gives me time frame, the driving duration, distance traveled, all that good stuff. You're also going to notice over here there are going to be these red triangles, and they'll correspond with certain things on the map. And what these are exceptions. So maybe there was a rule violation. They were speeding, or they swerved into a different lane, or a lot of different things it could potentially be. But it gives you a quick indicator that something was going on during this section of the trip. Now, as I look at the trip itself, let me zoom in a little bit. And you'll notice that as I go through here, you're going to be able to see certain information. And it updates as I move my cursor. So I get to see the speed at a specific time. I can see that in this asset data display, I can get fuel level percentage, a lot of different diagnostic information. I can also see the where that vehicle was traveling, what the weather conditions were. If I pause, I can see that it was 69 degrees, clear sky. If it was raining, anything like that, that's going to populate right here. But this is a great way to be able to quickly and easily identify, whenever you're doing any investigating, to be able to see that. Now, let's say that you are, you don't know who was in that area. Maybe somebody called in and said that, hey, I saw your truck. It was on the road. They were driving erratically, swerving all over the place, but I didn't get a truck number. So how do you investigate that? Well, there are a few different ways, but by far the easiest and the ability to get that same trip history information is to go back to the map. So if I move this out of the way, if I go back to my map, up here at the top, there's this area activity button. Now this is very, very convenient because if I click the down arrow or click it, it's going to give me the ability to quickly toggle between today, yesterday, or however often. I can set a customized date range. So if they say, hey, it was last week, I can go back to last week. But in this instance, let's just look at today. Now what this does is, again, it pulls in information for any trips that happen within today. Now, because we have vehicles in Indianapolis and in South Texas, it's going to zoom out. But if yours are all in the same area, it won't do that. From here, as I go in, I can see all of the trips that happen. So you'll notice that I haven't driven today, but Mason has. So from here, I can have those showing on the map. I can still hover along that and get that same information that we had before. Now, if you're running videos, you're also going to be able to get quick snippets of videos through this as well, which makes it kind of nice. But essentially, this is just a quick way to be able to show that and have a very, very close look on a granular level at whatever's going on over the course of a specific trip. If you have any questions with this, by all means, let us know. We're more than happy to help out. But hopefully this is a good kickstart into the map section of it, and we've got you a good foundation going. All right, we'll talk to you soon.